everyone, it's me, and today I will be reacting to the Deadliest Top 5 Serial Killers / Dark 5 by Snarled. I highly suggest you go subscribe to them. They have some really creepy content, but this video will be a little bit dark in here, okay? And there may be a swear or two, but I will boop if it even comes to almost swearing. Okay, here we go.
Killing is a lot like Pringles. Once you pop, it's very hard to stop. These are the 5 darkest serial killers. Serial killers will always be fascinating. Death and murder happens all the time, but usually it's motivated by circumstance. Like, hey, you boned my wife, I'm gonna kill ya. But serial killing is much different. Serial killers are a continued mystery, so to make sure I do y'all justice, I'm gonna start a small collection starting now. I'm gonna give y'all a little taste of my favorite serial killers, and then the next 5 episodes, I'm gonna do a deeper dive into each killer, their history, motivation, victims, and conspiracies surrounding each one. Y'all ready for some nightmare fuel? Number 5, Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer terrorized the gay community of Milwaukee from 1978 to 1992, as if being a gay man in the Midwest in the 80s needed to be any more terrifying. I am particularly excited about Dahmer's deep dive episode because his childhood was insane. He was drunk, like, all the time. He used to regularly hide whiskey bottles in his locker at school and often blacked out in class. Dahmer was known for stalking gay clubs to find his next victim. He was pretty conventionally attractive, so finding somebody to go home with him was not that difficult. To be honest, I would have gone home with him, but he did not want me because of my vagina. He brought his earlier victims back home to his grandmother's apartment, where he would drug them, strangle them, have sex with their dead bodies, then dismember them so they were easier to get rid of. Who's coming for dinner? His grandmother kicked him out of her apartment for being him, and as you can imagine, things got much worse. Side note, how Dahmer's grandmother never found out what he was doing in her apartment is incredible. If I don't finish a meal at my grandmother's house, she's convinced that I'm addicted to drugs. I'm not, Grammy, I'm fine. Once he got his bachelor pad, he could really have his way with his victims. Again, I'll go into this deeper into Dahmer's specific episode, but essentially he was trying to create a sex slave. He wanted that companionship, but without all that annoying stuff, like conversation and a pulse. He drilled holes in their brains to try to lobotomize them, and when that inevitably didn't work because, he didn't understand the intricacies of brain surgery, he would dismember their bodies and eat them. Dahmer was finally caught in 1991 and sentenced to 16 life terms, but was murdered by a fellow prisoner in 1994. Bang. Number 4, the Boston Strangler. Remember how Dahmer killed 16 people in 13 years? Well, the Boston Strangler killed 11 to 13 women in just 2 years. The Strangler had a type. For the most part, he killed women averaging around 50 years old by breaking into their houses and strangling them with their pantyhose tied into an elaborate bow. He targeted women who lived alone, going door to door pretending to be a salesman or a census taker or a Mormon. He would assume any character as long as it was someone you wouldn't think twice about if he knocked on your door. So this one's a little bit tricky. Albert DeSalvo will go down in history as the Boston Strangler, but there's a lot of conspiracy surrounding this. I'll go into the multiple man theories in the later episode, but there is a lot of evidence to suggest that DeSalvo is not the Boston Strangler, and personally, I don't think he is. Don't get me wrong, he's a shithead. But his association with the Strangler killing seems to be entirely circumstantial. Objection! Circumstantial. At the same time as the Strangler killings, DeSalvo was having a ball going door to door, breaking into women's houses and molesting them. After assaulting around 300 women, DeSalvo finally got caught, and while incarcerated, he claimed to be the Boston Strangler. He was able to describe the murders in graphic detail, which led police to believe they caught their man. But nothing is ever as simple as it seems, and all humans are liars. A surviving victim of the Strangler told the police that DeSalvo was not her attacker when they brought her.
We will continue this video. This is just part 1. Bye!